Have you ever woken up one day and wondered, who am I, really? Like, you're living this life going to work, hanging out with friends, scrolling through your phone, but deep down, something feels off. Like you're wearing someone else's skin, playing a role you didn't sign up for. Hey, I get it. I've been there too. Today, we're diving into something big. Life begins when you find yourself. This isn't just some feel-good motivational talk. It's about that moment when the fog clears, when you finally see who you are beneath all the noise and expectations. And, trust me, that's when everything changes, when life stops being a script someone else wrote and starts being yours. So stick with me, because this journey might just flip the way you see yourself upside down. So, let's start with a question. Why do so many of us feel lost? Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Like you were exactly where you were meant to be? Maybe it was a random moment dancing in your kitchen, laughing with a friend, or chasing a crazy dream. Or maybe you can't even remember. And that's okay. We're going to figure this out together. Here's the deal. Society's got us on this conveyor belt. You know the drill: get good grades, land a safe job, follow the rules, fit in. But what if that's not you? What if you're meant to paint wild murals, travel the world, or build something no one's ever seen? Too often, we let the world tell us who we should be, and we end up strangers to ourselves. Let me tell you about Alex. Alex was a lawyer, fancy suits, big paycheck, the whole package. On paper, it was perfect. But every morning, Alex stared in the mirror and felt nothing, empty, like life was just a checklist. Then one day, a friend dragged them to a pottery class. Alex laughed it off at first. Me? Clay? Seriously? But the second their hands touched that wet, spinning mess, something clicked. It wasn't about the pottery. It was about waking up a part of themselves they didn't even know was asleep. That's what finding yourself is. It's not a destination. It's a spark. A moment when you realize you've been living someone else's story and decide to write your own. So, I want to hear from you. When was the last time you felt that spark? Drop it in the comments. Maybe it's a memory. Maybe it's something you're chasing right now. Let's get this conversation going. If this is hitting home for you, if you're ready to explore what it means to find yourself, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We're just getting started, and I've got more stories and insights coming your way to help you live your truest life. Let's do this together. Okay, so how do we actually find ourselves? It's not like there's a map with a big X marked "You are here," but there are ways to start peeling back the layers. Let's break it down. First off, why do we lose ourselves in the first place? Think about it. From the moment we're kids, we're bombarded with messages about who we're supposed to be. Parents, teachers, social media, they all have opinions. And slowly, we start wearing masks. We become the good student, the reliable friend, the perfect employee. But those masks get heavy, don't they? They hide the real you, the messy, curious, wild you. Science backs this up. Psychologist Eric Sonnes, this big name in identity stuff, said, "We all go through an identity crisis at some point. It's normal. But if we don't figure out who we are, we end up stuck in what he calls role confusion. That's when you're 30, 40, 50, still wondering why life feels like it's passing you by." Studies show people who reflect on their values and passions report way higher life satisfaction, like up to 20% more, according to research from the University of Michigan. Now, back to Alex. That pottery class wasn't just a hobby, it was a rebellion. Alex started asking, why am I doing this lawyer thing if it's killing me inside? They traded late nights at the office for late nights at the wheel, shaping clay into bowls and dreams. Eventually, Alex quit the job, opened a tiny studio, and found peace in it, because pottery was the answer, but because it led them to their own truth. Here's where you come in. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow unless you want to, no judgment, but you can start small. Try these. 1. Journaling. Grab a notebook and write whatever's in your head, your fears, your dreams, that random thing you've always wanted to try. It's like a treasure hunt for your soul. 2. new experiences. Sign up for that dance class, hike that trail, cook that weird recipe. Stepping out of your routine shakes loose parts of you you've forgotten. 3. Mindfulness. Sit quietly for 5 minutes, focus on your breath. Let your thoughts float by. It helps you hear that little voice inside that knows who you are. I'll share something personal. A few years back, I was in a job I hated. Looked great on LinkedIn, but I'd come home drained, scrolling television to numb out. One day, I picked up a pen and started writing nothing fancy, just thoughts. That's when I realized I'd been chasing everyone else's goals, not mine. Writing became my pottery, my way back to me. So, here's a challenge. What's one thing that makes you feel alive? Maybe it's painting, running, helping people, whatever it is. Write it down right now. Try adding a bit of it to your week and see what happens. Tell me about it in the comments. I'm dying to know. Now, let's get real. What happens if you don't find yourself? Picture this. Years go by, and you're still stuck. Same job you hate. Same fights with people you love. Same nagging feeling that something's missing. It's not just sad, it's heavy. A study from the University of Chicago found over 50% of adults feel they're not living their true purpose. That's half of us wandering around, half alive. Unhappiness creeps in, stress, anxiety, even depression. The World Health Organization says mental health issues are skyrocketing, partly because we're disconnected from who we really are. But flip that around. What happens when you do find yourself? Imagine waking up excited, not because everything's perfect, but because you're living your life. Alex didn't just find pottery. They found courage, joy, a reason to get out of bed. Research backs this too. People who align their lives with their authentic selves are 30% more likely to feel fulfilled, according to a Cambridge study. This isn't about being selfish, it's about being whole. When you know who you are, you show up better for everyone. You're kinder, braver, more present. Let's go deeper. Ever heard of Jean-Paul Sartre? He's this philosopher who said, "Existence precedes essence." Fancy words, right? But it means you're not born with a fixed purpose, you create it. Finding yourself is claiming that power. Or take Taoism Wu Wei, effortless action. When you're true to yourself, life flows, not fights. Think of Alex again. Leaving law was terrifying. Bills don't pay themselves. But staying in a life that wasn't theirs was scarier. That's the choice. A safe cage or a wild, messy freedom. What's it going to be for you? If this is lighting a fire in you, if you're ready to stop drifting and start living, please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and hit subscribe. Let's keep this journey going together. Your story matters, and I want to hear it. So, here's the wrap-up. Today, we've dug into what it means to find yourself, how we get lost in society's noise, how people like Alex break free, and how you can start right now, with small steps, like journaling or chasing that spark. It's not a race, it's a journey. And the prize? A life that feels like yours. Here's a tiny tip. Tonight, take 5 minutes. Sit with yourself, no phone, no distractions, and ask, what do I really want? Not what your boss wants, not what Instagram says, just you. It's a start, and it might surprise you. Want more? Check out my next video on mindfulness. It's a game changer for tuning into your true self. Stick around the channel, we've got plenty to explore together. Thanks for watching, you amazing human. Life begins when you find yourself, so go find you. See you next time.